In the series of lesser known but important facts of Ramayana, we were discussing about Aranya Kanda. In Aranya Kanda, we were in a point where Ravan was about to come along with Marich and kidnap Mother Sita. But then we thought that instead of continuing the story, let's go a step backward and understand the history of Rakshasas. Because our purpose of making this video is to glorify Sri Ram and also describe the background incidents and give the right perspective for the Ramayana incidents so that the devotees unnecessarily do not criticize Sri Ram for his actions. This video has already been made another 20 series, and these 20 videos in this series are available in the playlist. So if you are interested to see those, you may please click that. You will be able to see remaining videos. However, those videos are in Bengali and they are with English subtitle. Mostly, some of them I have made in English also. This Rakshas Empires and Dynasty series also I made in Bengali, but there has been some request from my friends and well-wishers to convert it in English, and therefore I am making this in English. Hare Krishna. In this connection, before going forward, we need to understand what is the difference between Rakshasas, Asuras and Daityas. Because these terms are used very loosely. But in Ramayana, we actually understand that they are altogether different species or different people altogether with different demoniac properties. Now these details about the Rakshasas I have got from Uttarkanda. In Uttarkanda, people normally study about love kush story, Mother Sita's exile in Valmiki's ashram, but the Uttarakhanda there is a large chapter which covers the discussion between Rishi Vasishtha and Sri Ram. And Sri Ram actually asked Rishi Vasishtha to tell him about something about the Rakshasas background. It happened like that after Ram became king, after his coronation, all rishis came and they were praising Ram and Lakshman. So, particularly Rishi Agastha was praising about Lakshman very highly because he killed Indrajit. So Sri Ram was little curious. He said that there were bigger Rakshasas like Ravan, Kumbhakarna. Why Agastha Muni is praising and mentioning about Indrajit? So Agastha Muni told he needs to know the entire story or background of Rakshasas, and then he will understand why killing Indrajit was singularly important event. So in Uttarakhand we get this whole description, and I chose to take some part of it so that I can share with you. So I was coming at a point, what is Daita, what is Asura, and what are Rakshasas? So Daitas are like the Devatas, they are also son of a same father and their mothers were different. Like Daita's mother was Daiti and Devata's mother was Aditi. Now Diti's sons were actually disciples of their guru Shukracharya. And we have seen that these Daitas had the demoniac qualities, whereas the Devatas had the good, they are in the mood of good nature. They were in the Sattagun. Now, in Daita category, we have seen that Hiranyakshipu took birth, Bali Maharaj took birth. So we have seen lot of well-known names in the Daita category. They were basically in the beginning of the Satyajug. Asura, they appeared in the middle of Satyajug and were present till Dwapar Generally, Asuras were inhabitant of Patal but they stayed in Himalayas region as well, and as we see from history, there are Asuras present in Himalaya also. We have already encountered the stories of Agashur, Mahishashur, Bakashur and all, they are all Asuras. And who were Rakshasas? Rakshasas appeared in the end of Satyajug and were almost finished by the time Tretayug was over. Because only a few branches we could saw in Dwapar Yug, because Ravan was the most prominent Rakshasas and After Ravan, when Vibhishan became king, the demoniac qualities in Rakshasa started diminishing. So in Kali Yuga, we do not see these Daityas, Asuras and Rakshasas on earth, but their demoniac nature has gone deep rooted in heart of human. So we see some of the human who are with very strong demoniac qualities, and we realize that they are actually in some part of them actually has come from those Asuras and Daityas category. Agastya Muni continued telling stories of Rakshasas. So what we came to know that Pulastya Rishi was son of Lord Brahma, and he did lot of austerity at Trinabindu's ashram. Pulastya Rishi is one of the Saptarshi, one of the 7 sages in the sky. So Pulastya Rishi did lot of austerity at Trinabindu's ashram, and later he got married to that Trinabindu sage's daughter. They got a son, his name was Visharva. As his name suggested, he was very fond of recitation of Vedas. Vishrava Muni, he married Bharadwaj Muni's daughter, and their son's name was Vaisravana. Later on, Vaisravana did lot of penance and austerity, and so much so austerity that Brahma became very happy with him, and he made him 4th Lokpal and awarded him the post of Kuber. Kuber is actually Lord of Wealth. He was also awarded a Pushpaka chariot with which he could have visited anywhere he wished at a speed of mind. Vishrava actually told Vaisravana, because Vaisravana wanted a peaceful place to stay where you can meditate on Sri Vishnu. And Vishrava Muni told that you can go to Lanka. Lanka was built on Trikud mountain and was very serene. But at the same time, he reminded that many centuries back, powerful Rakshaka king were the ruler of the place, and they were killed by Sri Vishnu at the same place. So he actually cautioned him that he need to be careful while staying in Lanka. When Lord Ram was even curious to know about those powerful Rakshasa story, Agastya Muni continued. He said, since beginning, the Rakshasas were created by Brahma. They had 2 powerful leaders. One was Heti, another person name was Praheti. They were extremely pious and were naturally inclined to virtue. Heti, however, married a woman whose name was Bhoya. She was very fierce woman, and she had very demoniac qualities. Everybody was afraid of her. Her name was Bhoya. And they begot a son whose name was Vidyutakesha. Vidyutaksha got qualities of his mother and had very high level of demoniac qualities. When he grew up, he married a lady called Slakata Nataka. The woman, however, abandoned their only son, as she married to Vidyutaksha only for having sexual pleasure. The son who took birth between them was very powerful, and he was then rescued by Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati. And he was named by Lord Shiva as Shukesha. They also gave him lot of benediction, but this benediction went into the head of Shukesha, and he became very proud. Later on, Shukesha married Devaswati, and he begot 3 sons, Malayaban, Sumali and Mali. Remember, these were all happened in the middle of Satyajug. So they followed their father's path, and they started doing very deep austerities for several centuries. When Lord Brahma came to give benediction to these 3 brothers, they wanted a very strange kind of benediction. They knew that they cannot get the immortality. So they asked, O Lord, may we become very long lived and be so powerful that we generate terror in the heart of enemies. Let us have power of being invisible and very lot of love among three of us. We remain intact always. Let us be so powerful that no other descendant of us can match our strength. Let all devatas, that is demigods, asuras, daityas, anyone in the earth are fearful of us because of our strength. Brahma consented, and then the real journey of Rakshasa started. These three brothers, they were actually much more powerful than Ravan, Kumbhakarna, etc., and was creating havoc in the world. They tormented devatas, asuras, defeated, captured many important places, and they were playing also all kind of games so that the puja of Bhagavan Vishnu can be stopped. So sages and rishi munis were not able to do any puja because of them. Now these three brothers, they went to Vishwakarma and asked him to build a palace for stay. Vishwakarma told them that he has made a beautiful place called Lanka, which is surrounded by golden wall and covered with gold. All opulence is there, and it was been built as per instruction of Indra, the king of demigods. Now Indra is defeated, so these three brothers went ahead and occupied Lanka. Rakshasa dynasty hereafter started growing. Wife of Mali gave birth to four sons, and one of them were known to be later King Bibhishan's minister. Malayavan's wife gave birth to many children, and the prominent of them was King Virupaksha. Sumali's wife gave birth to Supravasa, Prathastha, and many other children. All these offsprings were equally demoniac nature, and since they were always protected by their powerful fathers, they started tormenting demigods, sages even more. Virupaksha conquered entire lower level Patal Lok and threatened Yamraj to leave the place. Thus, they finally crossed the limit by which Lord Vishnu controls the earth, and Lord Vishnu had to step in. And devatas were continuously praying to Lord Vishnu to save them from these brothers. So Lord Vishnu assured them that he has already seen that Shukesha's children has crossed the limit and they need to be punished. So Lord Vishnu started a very great battle, and in that great battle he beheaded Mali with his Sudarshan Chakra. Rakshasas left Lanka and all other region, and they captured and went down to the lowermost lokas like Patala. But permanently they started having lot of grudge against Lord Vishnu. All this happened in Satyajug and the beginning of Tretajug. Many years later, once Sumali, while wandering for husband for his daughter Keikasi, he saw in Lanka Vaisravana was staying and he was flying using Pushpak chariot. He became very greedy for that and he wanted that chariot. So he went to his Guru Shukracharya for getting the chariot. Now Guru said, you have not earned to get that chariot, and moreover to get that chariot somebody from a Brahmin caste can be owner of the chariot. So then Sumali came across a tremendous plan. He asked Kaikasi, somehow he has to marry Vaishravana's father, Sage Vishrava, and get a son. Now, if you refer my earlier video where I have described Ravan's birth story, there I have given a detail how these things happened. However, for this video, I will stop here and we will later on resume at part 2, where I will start from this point. Hare Krishna. Welcome back to the series of Rakshasas history, where in the first episode we stopped at a point where Sumali Rakshas he wanted his daughter Kaikasi to get married to a sage called Visrava and get a son who can be equally powerful as well as having the all Brahmanic qualities. Let's start from there.